Now let's consider formal charges. These are not real charges, but a bookkeeping way to assign electrons to atoms, and it's a way to decide the best or most stable structure between more than one Lewis structures for a molecule. Let's consider these two molecules. One I'll write out like this, it's hydrogen cyanide, and the other is an isomer one has carbon in the middle, the other has nitrogen in the middle. Now nitrogen is more electronegative, so we would think that it would probably go on the end, but we'll use formal charges to assure that. So I'm going to write the electron configurations with dots for each atom. So I'm going to start pairing. There's my carbon-hydrogen bond. I have a carbon-nitrogen bond, another carbon-nitrogen bond, and a third carbon-nitrogen bond. So this would give a structure. There. Each atom has its octet. Hydrogen has its 2 electrons. Now let's consider the second possibility. So, bond between nitrogen and hydrogen, one between nitrogen and carbon, another between nitrogen and carbon. So, now I have this structure, but carbon does not have its octet. It only has 6 electrons around it, so I can move electrons from nitrogen so that carbon will have its octet. Now each atom has its octet. So which is more stable? Well, let's do formal charges. Now a formal charge is equal to the number of valence electrons minus the number of lone pair electrons minus 1/2 the number of bonding electrons around each atom. So for this structure, let's calculate the formal charge on hydrogen. Let's see, hydrogen has 1 valence electron, doesn't have any non-bonded electrons in this structure, minus 1/2 of 2 bonding electrons, which is 1, so that gives it a formal charge of 0. Carbon has 4 valence electrons, minus 0 non-bonding, minus 1/2 times 8 bonding, so that's 4, gives 0. Nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, minus 2 non-bonding electrons, right there, minus 3, 1/2 times 6 bonding electrons, so that's equal to 0. So all the formal charges for that structure are 0. Now let's look at the second structure, HNC. So hydrogen we have 1 minus 0 minus 1 is 0. Nitrogen, we have 5 valence electrons minus no non-bonded electrons in this structure, minus half times 8 or 4, so that's plus 1. Carbon has 4 valence electrons minus 2 non-bonded minus 1/2 of 6, 3 bonding electrons, that's equal to negative 1. So in this structure we have a formal charge of plus 1 and minus 1. Now formal charges want to be as small as possible. So 0 is better than plus 1 or minus 1. So the first structure would be more stable. This one that has, oops, not that one. This one that has 0 formal charges for each atom.